The final season of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel continues Midge Maisel's rise into comedic stardom, while also showing us glimpses of her future once fame has kicked in. This final season is not the best of the 5-season run. In fact, it's probably the worst, but for fans of the show it's still a fun, funny, enjoyable and often emotional show. The big problem with this season is the use of flash forwards. These give us glimpses into the 80s and beyond, of what her characters end up doing. At first I thought they may have been what-if scenarios rather than definitive events, and while that's not entirely clear, it does seem like these events in the 80s and beyond happened. The problem is that they rob the show of mystery, and they're often darker and less cheerful or happy than I would have personally wanted. A large part of these flash forwards focuses on a falling out between Midge and her manager Susie, a scenario that isn't pleasing or entertaining to watch throughout this season. Most of the show is the usual Mrs. Maisel affair, with Midge getting a job in a talk show writer's room, exploring the gender politics there while also balancing her family life and everything else going on. Noticeably, Midge is far more focused on work this season than her family or anything else, and outside of striving for a spot on the show, she doesn't do a huge amount. Susie continues to rise as a successful talent agent and manager. Her success is a little unclear, considering last season she only had 2 clients, but much of the slapstick comedy is derived from this element of the show. The rest of the cast continues to be fun and energetic with plenty of comedic hijinks, although some of them do sometimes veer into cartoon territory reminiscent of bickering Muppets rather than actual people. Tony Shalhoub is given the best material this season, coming to a realization that his daughter is the son he always wanted, and also realizing just how talented she is and how proud he is of her. It's an emotional side story with good payoff. As the final season, it's a touch disappointing that there's little room for ambiguity or mystery or interpretation, thanks to the flash forwards. Not all of the characters get a satisfying send-off, but the central relationship between Midge and Susie is the highlight of this show, and it does end on a good note.